Go live right now. Beautiful, there we go. Hello, beautiful soul family, brothers and sisters, and I Love You Me community. Thank you for joining me for this evening's or this morning, wherever you are in the world right now, last in the series of the Into the Light of 2021 meditations and activations. And if you've been following me for the last 6 weeks and partaking in these meditations, activations, I would love to hear what's been happening for you. I know some of you in the comments post below about your experience from having them. But if you feel like it's helped you in any way, or it's aligned you or validated you or helped heal you in some way, it's always really wonderful to get your feedback and to know in which ways it's worked and what's worked, and if in any ways it hasn't worked or there was something missing or something lacking. That's also really good feedback for me. And perhaps you just need a little tweak somewhere. That's all I can say with these, especially using the I Love You Me method and message. I can't speak for other people's, other teachers that have come on here and guided you with their meditations. I love them, I honor them, I respect them very much so. So I've brought them into this community with us. Well, they're part of the community, they're part of our soul tribe, our soul family. But definitely I know when you use the I Love You Me method, without shadow of a doubt, without question, it works 1000% of the time, because literally all it is plugging you back in and giving you step-by-step instructions of how to get back into you. And you can't go wrong with it. All you can do is practice and tweak it and practice and tweak it until you really start hitting the nail on the head, so to speak, and getting that activation, that liberation, and that unconditional love blast inside yourself. So anyway, bit of a ramble. Welcome, my family. I love you. And before we go into tonight's meditation, it was quite funny when I was looking for the thumbnail. I came across, I just typed in "the end" into the search bar, and up came all the Looney Tunes, the end of the, I hear Bugs Bunny in my head. That's all, folks. And I went on my own little imagination trip with that, and it's like, yeah, that is all, and this is the end as far as I see it. What it is in my perception of not just a year, not just an era or a chapter in the book, but an age of self-loathing, self-betrayal, fear of oneself. Ultimately, I think we never really are afraid of something else, but we're afraid of our own inadequacies. We're afraid of our own inability to cope or be strong or to survive or to thrive. We're afraid of ourselves and what we perceive or believe ourselves to be or not to be. And it's been an age of really, I guess, running from our shadows. And I see now, as we move into this new age, literally, I don't know if you're with me on the solstice, but that was pretty powerful with my group of friends there, my family there, on the self-love talks and the meditation that we did. But I certainly felt a massive shift, a massive energy that day, and it will continue to take us into the new age. It's a heralding conjunction. It was a heralding star even to lead us into this new age. And this has been building up. I've known about this my entire life, literally. So for me, this is, it's incredibly real. It's been my whole life, and my whole life has been focused in this direction. So to be kind of over that threshold, so to speak, and going, right, guys, what else, as you move through this doorway into this new age, if you've got any little snags, things that catch you, like when you walk through the doorway and you catch your jumper on the snag on the door, or you trip over the little carpet the thingy, what's it called? The metal thing that holds the carpet down on the floor. Somebody's going to know the answer to that. You know, it's like, or a hesitation where we're just taking that step and it's like, yes, new era, new life, new world, new me, new reality, new relationship, new perception, new dreams, new hopes, new creation. And then there's that like, but, oh, and we turn back, oh, I'm going to miss my fill in the blank, or I didn't get this, or that didn't happen. And to put this into some kind of context, I wonder if you're relating to what I'm saying to you, and maybe just, you know, if something's been holding you back, type it out now, put it in the comments box, put it in the chat box, and just let me know, or not really let me know, but kind of get it out of your system, I suppose, right now, name it. What is it where you go, oh, I'm so ready, I'm so yes, and yet there's this, oh, but, you know, or a broken dream, a part of your broken heart. And I want to put this in context in a couple of ways. One way is that someone reached out to me yesterday, quite distraught, and said that she'd shared something, as a fact, one of the videos that I'd recently done, and a comment was made, not by myself, but my guest, on something, and this person had shared my video with a family member, a very dear family member, thinking it was a really cool thing to share with the family member, and the family member completely did not react in the way that this person wanted to. In fact, they reacted really adversely, to such an extent that this person felt blamed, felt attacked, I guess was just feeling devastated, really, really hurt. And this person was asking me, she's actually one of my trainee I Love You Me practitioners, so I'm always there, like I love to be there to help my trainee I Love You Me practitioners, and I love her very much, I care about her. And she reached out to me and I said, I'm going to answer this question for you on tonight. Okay, so if any of you are going, okay, you know, there's been a lot of talk of this going through the last year with revelations and declassification of information and the conspiracy theories all being shared. And then, you know, the awakened ones, the conscious ones, the loving ones, the new earthers, basically, let's just call us that, getting completely slated by other people that they love and care for, and not knowing how to deal with that, and not knowing how to deal with the hurt. So I want to support you with that, and the meditation that we're going to do tonight is to support you with that. And maybe just think about now, who is it that you carry in your heart that you have a wound over, where you've thought of somebody, somebody has not approved of you, maybe they've attacked you, they've called you things, they've done certain things to you. Could be a family member, just someone on social media, could be a parent, could be, you know, could be your best friend. I know that's also happened this year with some of my close friends. Their other best friends have just completely annihilated them. So just think about, is there anybody that springs to mind or comes into your heart where you go, you know what, I'm still feeling the thorn in my heart, or maybe you're still feeling the knife in your heart where you just felt so in pain. Just bring that up, just bring that to awareness now. And also, I'm going to share my personal story as well a little bit just before we dive into this meditation, is that, I mean, I can't complain about my life. I have the most unbelievable life. Everything changed for me the moment I started practicing my own method, because I was literally teaching this around the world for years, helping clients with it. And it wasn't for a while, and it was called something else. It was actually called Birthing into the Light Body. Sometimes I referred to it as that, and sometimes I referred to it as the angelic clearing technique, because it's something that had come through with Archangel Michael, as you know. And it wasn't called I Love You Me, but it wasn't for a long time until I wrote the book. And I was in a distressed state over a relationship, very traumatic relationship. And I read my own book and I was like, oh my God, and it saved my life. And I started practicing that. And that was quite a lot of years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And it was only when I started practicing that, everything in my life changed. And I went from a very broken, helpless victim, poor, poverty-stricken person who I was always trying to bring love to the world and trying to create good things. But inside, I was very lacking. I was very hurting. And so when I did I Love You Me method, completely changed everything to the point now I have the most incredible life. I literally have everything I always wanted, bar one thing. And this one thing was like it wasn't like the icing on the cake. It was like what I'd considered to be the center stone of the foundation from which, if I had this, I could really fly in my life. I've got everything else there. All the rest of the foundation is just one piece that's been so important to me. So important that I feel like it's been my little light of hope I've carried around in my heart for a long time, that one day, and not, you know, when I'm old and crinkly, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that, guys. It's the light in my heart, it's the hope. It's that little diamond, that little gem of like, I'm going to hold on to this dream. Because even if nothing else happens, I just want this to happen. So I've manifested everything else, right? Everything else has happened, bar this one thing. And I was really thinking that this one thing would happen over this Christmas period. Or the doorway to it happening would be opened. And come the end of Christmas Day, and especially Boxing Day, when it hadn't happened, nothing, it hadn't happened. It had kind of happened, well, it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, let's say that. It was just a completely different thing. And it was like, that is not what I want. I want this. This is my dream. It means everything to me. And it didn't happen. And I was absolutely devastated. Come Boxing Day morning, I was just really not coping. And scenario played out. And in the end, by kind of the end of the day, I was in such agony. My belly was on fire inside. My womb was on fire. My heart felt like somebody had taken a hammer to my dreams. I was devastated, right? It was like, how can I not have this? And you know what happens when you get disappointed or disillusioned or upset and something happens and it just doesn't, it's like, how can that happen or how can that not happen? And your mind does all these things and it runs around all the old stories and all the old loops. And it's trying to find the answer, like a little rabbit running around the warren, trying to find the way out. Do you know that feeling? So my mind was starting to do this. By the way, this, how shall I say, it's been a lot worse. Let me tell you, this used to be way worse. I used to drive myself right over the edge into a black hole of like, you know. So when I listen to other people's pain and what they've been through in their life, trust me, I can really relate. I've really put myself through hell, through certain things, but it wasn't that bad. I was still bad, I was still hurting, but it wasn't like I wasn't doing my old thing. It was a far, far, far gentler version. So it was like, okay, I'm not going to go off the edge of the cliff. I've still got the steering wheel, but this is hard, right? So I was in that kind of state. And it was that I was doing the I Love You Me. I was like going in and acknowledging and asking for forgiveness for myself. But the thing that was really, really important, and this whole story is for this point for you, is I had to make a decision if I wanted to carry on feeling hurt and going over the story, replaying in my heart what I didn't get and what wasn't fair and, you know, it wasn't okay. And taking it out on this other significant person that has something to do with this, and not taking it out, but blaming them. In that moment, I felt such madness, such hatred, such anger. I was just like, you know, fuck you. And I know you can relate to this. I know a lot of, if not all of you, have had these experiences where you go, that person, they're not doing what I want them to do. They're not being how I want them to be. They're not loving me how I want them to love me. They're, you know, fill in the blank. And bless, I had to make a decision that had nothing to do with the other person. It had everything to do with me. And instead of looking outside and going, that's not fair, and that's not fair, and that's not fair, I had to turn the mirror and look at myself. And look myself, and I don't mean in a glass mirror in the bathroom. I mean internally inside with a check-in and go, am I going to let myself live like this? And how soon am I going to stop my suffering? Do I want to throw some more tantrums? Do I want to have a screaming match? Do I want to carry on walking around in my pain? Like, look at me, I'm in pain, look what you've done. Waiting for that person to give me the response or the reaction I wanted. Now, I want you to I'm dramatizing this a little bit, but I want you to understand where you do that in your life, because we all do it. You know, whether you are a spiritual novice or you are like an old timer, we all do this. So I want you to feel in that part of you right now, where any part of you where it has a deepest dream, a deepest desire, a need not met, a hope not fulfilled. I'm inviting you in this moment, and in the meditation that we're going to do in a minute, to ask yourself, or you can ask yourself now, and in the meditation we'll do the releasing, but ask yourself now, if you're still hoping, still waiting, still longing, even if it's one of those things that's been lifelong and it never goes away, like my one, and you go, am I going to try and carry this little torch, this little light of my hope, of my dream, of my desire, of my need, or my grudge even of what you haven't got yet, the pain of something from the past that hasn't yet righted, it hasn't yet fulfilled, like you didn't get to fix it, you didn't get to put it right. It could also be that you didn't get the thing that you needed. Are you going to carry this flame, or try and carry it, into a new reality where you are free, you're liberated, you're in bliss, you're in joy, and everything that you want, but not as you want it, will come to you? Does that make sense? And I'm saying this because over many, many years, I've been doing soul readings, and many, 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 many times over, I've helped people through an initiation. And I want you to think back to the times of Egypt and what we're taught in schools about the Egyptians, and how when somebody dies, you mummify them, you take out all their organs, you mummify them, preserve their body for the next world. And inside that sarcophagus, I think I said the right word, you put their gems, their riches for the next world. That's how these people were buried. Now, of course, you open up the tombs thousands of years later, and there's nobody in them, but these treasures still remain. They didn't get to go to the next world. They had to be left at death's door. We don't take any of this stuff with us. The things that we hope for now, the things that we dream for now, the things that we wish could happen now, they don't actually get to come with us on death's door when we cross that threshold into the next world, whatever that next world is. It has to stay here. What goes is the source, is the soul, is the spirit. That's what goes to the next world. Everything else stays behind. So think of this like an initiation like that. That you're going to say, okay, and maybe not a coffin or sarcophagus, that's the word, sarcophagus. But let's say you're going to get in a canoe and you're going to go across the river, and you're going to leave everything on this shore, and you're going to go to the next shore way over there in front of you, where everything's fresh, everything's new. And what would you put in that boat? Now, if you want to have a new world, you can't bring the old world with you. You literally get as empty and unencumbered as you can, because the more space you make within to receive, the more you will receive in your new world. And this is really important. You can't take the cargo with you. You can't take your hopes and dreams and expect to put them in the boat and that you're going to receive them on the other side. You won't. You'll be disappointed. And at some point going across that river, which is where we are now, you're going to have to throw those things overboard. So you may have been experiencing something like this, and I don't, that's been me. I don't often share what I've been going through when I go through it, but it really hit me, honestly. It was like, so if it's affecting me in that way, perhaps I wouldn't be surprised if loads of you were feeling something similar after the eclipse and going, right, this is my biggie. I got to chuck my biggie out of the canoe. I got to leave it in the old world. It doesn't get to come with. So how do we do that? So if it's a relationship, if it's a picture you've painted, a picture perfect of how something should be, whether it's money, family, work, whatever it is, somebody's attacked you, whatever it is that you're holding on to, you're gonna have to like unsnag yourself from it right now so that you can move forward. And hopefully through doing these meditations and giving you this whole backlog that I've given you here is going to help plant in you the seeds of your understanding, so that hopefully something in this you'll remember, so that if it happens again, or when it happens again, you'll go, oh, that's what I do. I'm having to go from one shore to another shore, and these things can't come in my boat. And what have you got to lose? Really nothing, because you're going to lose it at death anyway. So you may as well lose it now and start a new life now and be completely open to having something totally fresh, to a restart, a new world and a new perspective on yourself, because that's what practicing this I love you me method in this meditation helps you with. It gives you a brand new perspective on you and your relationship with you and what's important. And it aligns you with yourself and your source, and everything else has to get out of the boat. Everything else has to go. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Someone here said, Willow said, I want to be finished with drinking too much wine and forgive everyone who does not understand the truth. Bless you for sharing. I really respect you for sharing that. Yeah, obviously you're drinking too much wine because you're trying to drown your sorrows, right? There's a sadness, there's an emptiness, there's a lack, there's a pain in there. You're trying to not feel. Bless you. And I totally feel you, because others don't understand you. That can take a person to their death. It's like the core thing, right? I am not heard, I am not held, I am not met, I am not understood for this thing that I deeply, deeply need. So Willow and everybody else that's watching this, we're going to take our attention off everybody else right now, because if it isn't working and you haven't got it yet from everyone else or whoever else it is, you got to make them not responsible for it anymore, and you're going to turn the mirror around and you're going to have this beautiful one-to-one with yourself and do what you need to do to stop making yourself suffer, waiting for somebody else to essentially rescue you or to give you what you want, right? We can't torture other people and coerce other people and blackmail other people and emotionally manipulate other people and make them feel bad because they're not giving us what we want. That's not their job, it's ours. Okay, this is the way to sovereignty. This is the way to self-empowerment. This is self-love. And this opens the whole door, if you like, to that brand new earth, a brand new story of your life, brand new creation. And it's completely liberating. And in that, you're sublime, you're perfect, you're the divine, and I love you. So let's all settle down and get going, okay? Thanks for listening. That was a bit of a long explanation. I hope it was useful. So let's settle down. And I'm going to invite you, we'll probably be doing this for, let's say, 15, 20 minutes, just so you know. So let's get your body comfortable. I encourage you to lean back and soften the spine. And it really is important to soften the spine from the top of the head all the way down the back of the head, the back of the neck, back of the shoulder blades. Like you can just take a breath out and it goes, ah. Kind of get unzipped all the way down, 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 lower back, sacrum, and all the way down to the tip of the coccyx in the base of the spine, and go. And this is so that your information within you, nervous system, spinal fluids, everything can move freely, because it helps you more. Another really important thing is to soften the jaw, soften the mouth, soften the tongue, soften the throat. Just notice how many muscles you keep clenched in your jaw, your tongue and your throat throughout the day. Just notice it now. Take a soft, deep in breath through the mouth and out breath through the mouth. Like a sigh. And that's our sigh of surrender. That's our sigh of, I'm not going to keep battling anymore. I'm not going to keep trying. I'm not going to keep wrestling with something. I'm not going to keep hurting. Sigh of surrender. Breathe and receive your breath. Receive you. Really important to soften the face, soften the side of the face, the temples, and just come into that space of like, you can even put your hands up. I let go. Had enough. I'm not going to hurt myself anymore. I'm not going to struggle anymore. Total surrender. And bring your hands somewhere resting on your beautiful, sacred, earthly but vessel, your mortal body, your heart, your tummy, anywhere that feels good, just anywhere at all, where you can hold yourself. And we're going to allow our inner child in our imaginations. We've got that little one that lives in our head. It's the one that dreams, it's the one that imagines, it's the one that formulates, it's also the one that tries to be the grown-up and figure everything out, get what we want, come up with all the clever answers or not. You know, it's the one that we end up beating up when we don't feel good or we get something wrong. It's like the little mini you that lives in your head, pulling all the levers, trying to get it all done. I'm just going to invite you to meet that little you, that thinking you. It's probably a small version of you inside your head, and invite him or her to sit back right in the middle. As if there's a great big golden cushion, you just sit back in the middle. And you sit down and you soften and you relax, and there's nothing you need to work out right now. And just sink down, and all you need to do is breathe. And as you receive the breath in the out breath, there's a slight rising sensation in the head. And then that golden cushion and you on it start to soften and get heavy and start slowly sinking down. And just take your time now with every breath as you receive in. And you can put your eyes inwards, like see yourself with your inner eyes on this cushion, this big, beautiful golden cushion of light. You can hear the sigh of within, or you can hear your little me, your little you in your head, whatever he or she is thinking or saying. You can feel the empathy in your tummy for the emotions that are going on inside of you. Or for some of you, it is numbness and disassociation. That's still a feeling, because you can feel disassociated. You can feel numb. So there's still something there to feel. So empathize with yourself, whatever that is. Regret, anger, disappointment, loss, shame. And you can feel and sense the feelings in your heart. Maybe you just had enough of 2020. Maybe you just want to say goodbye to everything, you know, shut the door, walk into the corridor and open a new door. You know, if that's you, Just feel how that feels in your heart, that wanting just to say, I'm done. I'm done with this old world. I'm done with always having this happen. I'm done with never getting this to happen. I'm done with feeling sad, empty, lonely, frustrated, whatever the feelings are. And as you breathe, you're allowing that little you in the cushion just to sink down. And you're going to meet yourself in these places, in the places where nobody else has met you, in the places you desperately want the world to see, or you desperately want a family member to see, you desperately want your partner to see, someone, God, maybe. Who do you wish would see you? And just take accountability and be the grown-up and take care of it all for you. Make your dreams come true, make your wishes come true. Whatever it is, give you what you need. Validation, recognition, acceptance, love. And we're going to just let go of those other people, and you're just going to feel in, and you're going to be the one, the beautiful, loving one. That little you on your golden cushion, you're just going to sink down in and meet the part of you that hasn't been met. Where that last vestige of your hopes and your dreams, the thing that you're scared of letting go of, don't want to let go of, super attached to happening so that you are fulfilled and happy. I'm just going to go and meet that place. And we're going to fill it with breath. We're going to feel the feeling and the emotion with breath. Breathe back into the emotional body. Give breath to the senses so that this part really comes fully alive. Breathe it in. It's like when you go and meet somebody you haven't met for a long time and there's not been peace between you. What do? The first thing when you see them is you go, you take a deep breath, although it's forced and through the nose, right? It's like, hold on, let me get sense of this. What am I going to do? And instead with this, with yourself, we're going to be much softer. We're not going to be defensive or controlling in our breath. You're going to be that little child on the cushion. You're going to be soft, sweet, tender. Take a breath in through the mouth and out through the mouth. And I invite you to say this to yourself right now. Hello, me. Hello, me that's not getting what you want. It might be hello, me that didn't succeed. Hello, me that never got. Fill in the blank. Hello, me that's waiting for. Hello, me that's holding on to. And even through your hands, I invite you to pour compassion, the touch of unconditional love, the holding. I invite you to keep your body soft and breathe deeply, deeply into the core of this you that's waiting and wanting and hoping. Give yourself a hug there. It's like if you could reach through your own body, your own skin, And with your inner sight and your inner senses and your empathy, you could go wrap yourself around yourself and give yourself a hug. Squeeze yourself and say, I see you, me. And say these words out loud because they're activating. There'll be a catalyst for your healing. I am really sorry, me. Say that. I am really sorry, me. You've been waiting for this person, that person. You're hoping for this outcome. You always thought that this would happen and it didn't. Oh, I'm sorry, me. Life didn't go how you wanted it to go. Didn't turn out how you wanted it to be. 2020 didn't turn out to be how you wanted it to be. And what did you have to let go of? What did you lose this year? Let's really validate yourself and just see yourself, hug yourself and say, I see you, me. I feel you, me. And I'm with you, me. 100% with you. And I'm really sorry that happened to you. And fill in the blank. Whatever happened to you, you say it in your own words. It's your own private conversation, because only you know the pain that you go through. Only you know what it is that you need to let go of, even if you don't want to, especially if you don't want to. If it's the thing you've been clinging on to, give you that redemption, give you that fulfillment. Validate yourself. I hear you. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right to want that. You're right to need that. You're right to hope for that. Okay? Validate yourself and then say, I'm sorry. It didn't work out. And receive a beautiful, deep, flushing breath into your body and softly let go without any control. Just let the breath come in like a wave and recede like a wave. And ask yourself if you're willing to carry on suffering. Carrying on, waiting, hoping, dreaming, expecting, needing. Or if you'd like it to stop right now. If you looked at yourself like a parent, a loving, beautiful parent, or a beautiful, kind angel, would you want you to suffer anymore? Holding on to something that's may never, ever, ever happen. Or that you can't change. What you would do is probably kiss yourself on the head. Say, come on, me. We're not doing this anymore. And you're going to take your hand right now. And you can see that well of suffering, that pit of hoping and dreaming, longing. The big scenario that you always wanted, like I did. Or the deep, 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 deep well of longing. Deep, dark well of needing. Whatever it looks like to you. Just turn around, look at that and go, do I want that? Do I want to leave myself there? Or should we go and do something else instead? Do we want a fresh start? Do we want something new? Now you're going to take your own hand. Say, please forgive me. It's hard. I know. And look in your eyes and say, I feel you. It's hard, I know. And it's not fair. It's really not fair. And you can say to yourself, but please forgive me. It's not going to go. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. It's not going to change. Because this is the old world. Tell yourself very clearly, please forgive me. This is not going to be how you want it to be. And it's not worth suffering over. Because this belongs in the old world. Take a deep breath. Belongs in the past. It can't come forward. Literally can't. It's of the old world. It can't come into the new one. And there's loss, and there's grief, and there's tantrums, and there's all kinds of things, anger. But you can breathe, empathize, and feel with yourself. And be like, I know, it's not fair. I know. Validate yourself. Please forgive me. Deep breath, feeling. And then say to yourself, thank you, me. And you've still got your hand of you. You're saying, thank you. I love you. Well done. Look yourself in the eye. Breathe yourself in. Squeeze yourself. Empathize with yourself. Feel with all your might, with every atom you have that you can feel with. Merge with this you. Just feel completely. And say, but I love you. I love you enough to not let you suffer. To not let you keep waiting. To not be disappointed anymore. I love you. And I've got you. And come with me. Well done. Say to yourself, well done, me. And you're going to step. Feel your feet on the ground right now. Feel the emotions and the water in your tummy. And feel this ship, or it could be a canoe, whatever it is, a little boat, rowing boat, canoe, it could be a surfboard, it could be a leaf, it could be a galleon ship. Where you're now going to leave this old place with the old rules, all of the past, things that didn't work, systems that didn't work, relationships that didn't work, consciousness that didn't work, understandings that didn't work. Old times, dark times, low vibration, low energy, low consciousness, struggle, lack. And you're going to take your foot off that shore and put it into your boat, whatever it is. And you're going to take your other foot and put it into that boat. And you know this place. You know this place in your heart. that's completely not attached to anything. That is pure innocence and pure love. It's completely free. It's where you fly. And you're holding the hand of your me that was suffering, and you're bringing your me into the boat. You pull him or her in. Let them step in, take a seat. You can look at their face. You might want to give yourself a tissue or wipe your hair out of your face. Breathe with yourself. Say ready. And if you want one final look back, now is the time before you push off from the shore, because once we get going, you're not going to look back. Anything you need to look back at and say thank you to. Anything you need to look back at and say, I'm sorry I didn't do what you wanted either. I'm sorry I couldn't heal you. I'm sorry I couldn't fix you. I'm sorry I never made it. I'm sorry I wasn't good enough. Anything else you want to dump outside and leave it on that shore as you look back. Any attachments to money, you don't need to stay attached to that anymore. You can put it on the shore. And there you go. I'm done with this toxic relationship. I'm done with this struggle relationship. I'm done with suffering. I'm done with trying. Done with sacrificing my health, my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health. Done with sacrificing my soul. Done with paying the price to try and get what I wanted. Could be done with drinking, Willow. I'm done hurting myself. I'm done trying to punish others by hurting myself. I'm done trying to help others who don't want to hear it. I'm done bashing my head against a brick wall or trying to get blood out of a stone. I'm done. Breathe, put it on the shore. Say, well done, me. Validate yourself, well done, me. Good job. Okay, empty-handed, move into the center of the boat. And hold hands with your me. Right, this is your conscious self and your you that's been in the subconscious. You that knows where to go, holding the hands of you that doesn't. You that's been stuck. And you hold both hands and you look at each other's eyes. You can hold each other tight if you want, hugging, heart to heart, holding, stroking, whatever works. Breathing together, feeling. And your boat, your ship, your canoe breaks away from the edge. And you totally relax now. You soften and completely relax and just feel the breath moving in and out of your body, like the wind in your sails, like the breeze stroking the top of the water. Ever so soft, completely soften the breath, totally surrender and let go. As if you're moving into a dream. Every last particle of attachment is being released from you right now. Even the dust and nanoparticles. Your breath does it. You don't have to do anything. And the more you soften, the more you trust and let go, the heavier your body becomes and the lighter you become with your breath. Breathe deeply into the waters of your body, your tummy, your belly, your emotions. And just feel the deep depth of you, serenity of the water, silky soft, completely sublime and serene, full of light. Even when you dive down deep with your breath, it's still light you can still see. Deeper and deeper and deeper. You can be aware of all that water below the boat. You can be aware of the depth and the bottom of that water. And you can be aware of your entire body, of your me and your little me, just completely relaxed on the boat. And you can be aware of the breath, the breeze, the air, sailing you, filling your sails and sailing you across this beautiful ocean of surrender. And let your body start to fill up with the depth of compassion for yourself. Let your body fill up with the deepest, most tangible sense of empathy and deep care and deep sensitivity for yourself. And you can feel that as you breathe and receive the compassion and the empathy, your body starts to heal. Any broken parts start mending. Any broken hearts start mending. Any pains you've carried around for years, breathe deep, deep, deep empathy and compassion and kindness. Deep into the bones and deep into the tissues. Deep into whatever ailment lies in your body, whether it's fibroids or cancer or just some dysfunction. Breathe. Just a pain, a soreness. Breathe right into the center of it with the most love and compassion and kindness that you can feel. And receive it. And let go. You're taking everything that matters, which is you. Nothing else comes. You're breathing into every aspect of your matter. Your physical dense matter, your emotional matter, your water, your cells, breathing into every particle of your matter. You can feel it all the way through your spine, flowing. You can feel it going into your grey matter, your brain. Deepest compassion and empathy and kindness for all your awarenesses and your sensitivities, your insights, your knowledge, your intuition, your inner child, your creativity, your deep, deep knowing. Breathe into all of it. Breathe into all the fear, the trauma, anxiety. Breathe into everything with deepest, deepest compassion. And feel it filling up all the gaps, all the holes, anywhere in your mind. Anywhere in your senses, anywhere in your emotions, anywhere in your body. You're filling yourself up with what you need. You're filling your own inner vessel by breathing and receiving that kindness, compassion, understanding. And when you're finished, see every last place just fill. Come whole and come right. And you can say, hello me. Hello new me. Well done. Give yourself that validation. I see you. I feel you. I understand you. I love you. Say these words out loud. I love you. And you can feel yourself sitting up or standing up now in the boat. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, you're there. And when you put your foot down, it's like putting your foot on solid ground, except it's living, it's alive. It moves with your foot, like stepping on plasma, like stepping into a live painting, that as you put your foot down, it meets you, greets you. It's a living response to you. And you can feel yourself taking 2 steps out of the boat with both feet. Feeling yourself in this new place. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to come. No one does. Future isn't written yet. And you can invite, if you're still holding the hands, maybe you've merged completely by now, but if you haven't, you're still holding hands with your other me that was stuck. You bring him or her onto the land and say, welcome home. Look them in the eye, welcome home. If you've merged completely, say it to yourself, welcome home me. Welcome home. To right now. And you can celebrate, say, well done me, thank you me. We did a journey. Now be aware, like a child, when you take a step, something happens. Ripples happen from every footstep. In this world, what you speak, you create in reality. Much, much, like 1,000 times faster than ever happened before. This is like your canvas, your now canvas. You're always present with yourself, breathing in and receiving, hello me, in that moment now, and not thinking about what you want to create, but feeling it. What meets your needs? What serves you? Not fanciful dreams like the past, but what serves you? And what serves you is to give yourself total permission in this place to play. Because you can't get it wrong. You can't get it wrong. When you're playing, it can't go wrong. And you can take out your colors, and you can take out your bricks, and you can take out your seeds and your trowel. You can take out your pen and your paper, and you can create from your wildest imagination. What world do you want to live in? What world serves you? What world serves your me that you're now in charge of looking after in this world? What world serves your me? And there, in this place of wonder, in this place of innocent curiosity, we all begin a new life. We all begin a new world together. And you will find your brothers and sisters like you, and they will find you. And things that you never, ever, ever imagined were possible are now possible. Just not in the way that you thought they would be. Stay in that place of wonder, stay in openness and curiosity, and stay present with your me. I've got you, me. I love you, me. And breathe and feel and receive the kindness, the compassion, and the love. And then play and create. So I love you, my family, my brothers and sisters. I'll leave you in this place if you feel like writing or dancing or carrying on. Do whatever you need to do. And I very much look forward to seeing you on the other side in 2021. And stay tuned, because I've got some really cool things happening on New Year's Day or soon after. So I love you, and I'll see you soon. Take care, my friends.